Welcome back. My name is Evans, and this is how to become a SQL Server database administrator. So, on our previous video, we looked at different concepts, and then we looked at how we set up our environment. We started by building up SQL AD, then we created SQL O1, and we cloned our SQL O1 into SQL O2 and SQL O3. So now, to continue with this, we're going to go straight into our SQL Server 01. Now, what we're going to do is to go in there, change our IP address, give it the IP address that is unique to this VM, then link it to the domain controller so that it can become part of the domain computers. So how I'm going to do that, I'm going to go here. I'm in SQL O1. I power on the virtual machine here. As a matter of fact, I can do it simultaneously. I can do SQL O1, SQL O2, and SQL O3 simultaneously, but I don't want you to get confused. So I'm going to take it one VM at a time. Okay, so we know how to sign in. We come here and we sign in with our password 1. We are into the VM. All right, so this will always pop up. You can click on cancel. Now that we are here, the first thing to do in this virtual machine is to first of all go here to local server. You click on local server. If you notice on the local server, all right, this name has not changed, okay? But we will come to this same Ethernet, double click this place, double click this like we did in the SQL AD, double click this, go to the last one on this row, 4 IPv4, double click that. Then you click on use this IP like we did in our previous video. Then you come down to start. You go to search. You type CMD. When you type CMD, you double click it. You're going to open a command prompt. So you're going to type this command there, ipconfig. Okay, you hit enter. That is going to pop up for you. Sorry, let me close. Yeah, everything is clear now. So this is the IP address of this VM. It is unique to this VM. Now remember that our SQL AD, I told you to note down the IP address for our SQL AD. It ended with 128, while this one now is ending in 129. For you to be sure, you can go back to SQL AD, which is up here. Click on SQL AD. You sign into the computer. You know, when you click this arrow, this will pop up for you. You type your password, 1, you enter the computer. This is the IP address of SQL AD. It ends with 128. I already know it. So you can come here now, and first of all, go to this place, use preferred DNS service. We are going to enter the IP address of SQL AD there, which is this one, 192.168.32.128. So you come here, you type 192.168.32, and you click on this next one, 128. Now, if you watch, each of this address bar would take 3 digits. It cannot take more than 3 digits, but it can take less than 3. So don't go and do a mistake and mistype this number. Make sure you enter 3 the way the digits appear before the dots. Very, very important. Now, after doing that, why you put the address of SQL AD is because you want SQL O1 to be connected to the domain controller. That is why you brought the IP address of the domain controller into this preferred DNS server. Then now you click on IP address of the VM itself. You go back to this black screen, you would see it here, 192.168.32.129. You come here, you enter it, 192 the next box 168, the next box 32. You click on the last box, you put 129. You enter your subnet mask, which will populate for you automatically when you click on that box. Then your default gateway is 192.168.32, then 2. Yours may be different from this computer, but if you follow what I do, it will generate your own IP for you. So you click on OK, you click on OK, you click on close, you close this, you close this. Now that you have done that, you're going to see the IP address will change here now. Very soon it's going to change. Good, it has changed. So now, if you go back to SQL AD has 128 as the last digit. You come to SQL 01, SQL 01 has 129. So the next thing we want to do here is to change the name of this computer. You click on work group, you come here, you click on change, you enter the name of the computer, which is SQL 01. We're on SQL 01. Then you click on domain. The domain you want it to be connected to is the domain we created in SQL AD, which is sql.com. So you click on OK. You're going to see the message that will pop up on your screen now. This one is saying you enter administrator here. Then you enter your password 1. Then you click on OK. Now it's going to welcome you to the domain. It says here, welcome to the SQL domain. Good job. You click on OK. All right. Where did everything pop out? Sorry, it came down here. You must restart your computer to apply the changes. Yes, I'm going to restart. Click on close. All right. Do I want to restart now? Well, there are two choices. Because I still want to do something in this computer, I'm going to say restart later. So click on restart later. All right. So now that we've clicked on restart later, the next thing that we're going to do is to go and initialize our disk space. So now, for you to initialize your disk space, you're going to come here to tools. Tools is here. You come to computer management. That is one way. Another way you can go to computer management, you come to start, your start button here. You go to search, you type computer management. That's it there, the second one. You double click it, it will open for you. When this opens for you, you click on disk management. Disk management is here. You click on your disk management. Now, notice that all those disks that we created at the beginning, when I told you to give 1, 10, 5, 5, 5, 5, those 5 that we created, here is where we're going to come and initialize them. All right? So, just follow me exactly how I'm doing this. It's straightforward. Sorry, the system is still dragging. It's supposed to clear so that I can see clearly. Okay, so it's back to normal. So now this first disk here, if you notice, we have 5. Let me expand this so you can see it and scroll down. You can see that we created 5 disks. These are the 5 disks here that we created at the beginning of the video. Okay, so now, but the disks are offline. When installing SQL Server, we will need to include all these disks, okay, in the SQL Server installation process. But if you do not on it here, when you're trying to install SQL Server, you will not see it. So now, what you're going to do here is right-click, you bring it online, you right-click again, it will say Initialize Disks. This will come up, you click on OK, you have initialized the disk, it's now online. Then you come to the unallocated by the right, you right-click it, you go to New Simple Volume, you click on Next, you click on Next. You want to start to give your drives a label. All right. So let's just say let's start from F. You click on next. In this place of new simple volume, for the 10 disk space, we want to give it our data. So you call it data. You click on next, you finish. You go to the next, you see that it is now held is online. So you come to the next one, disk 2, you right click, you bring it online. You right click again, you initialize the disk. Then you go to the right unallocated, you go to new simple volume, you click on next, you click on next again. The next alphabet after F is G. We want to give G, we change the name from the volume label, we give it log. We want all our log files to go to this drive. So you click on next, you click on finish. Then the next one now will be temp DB. You go to your disk tree, you right click it, you bring it online. You initialize it again by right clicking, you click OK. The same thing, you come right here, you go to new simple volume, next, next. We started with FG and now we'll go to H, we go to next. We change the name of the label to temp data or temp DB data. Anyone is okay for you. You can just call it temp data. All right, so you click on next and you finish. All right, so the next thing you would do again, you go to the next disk 4, you bring it online, first of all, then you initialize the disk. Well, after initializing the disk, you right click, you go to new simple volume, you go to next, you go to next. So we started with FGH, next one will be I, you go to next, you call it temp DB log or temp log. Anyone that you use is okay for you. It's okay. Then finish. Then the last one is our backup disk. So you right click disk 5, you bring it online, you right click, you initialize, you hit OK. Then you go to the unallocated, you right click, you go to new simple volume, you go to next, you go to next, and then this will be J. You click on next again, and you name it as your backup file. You click on next, and you finish. So now you've been able to bring all your 5 disk spaces online. You've initialized it, and you labeled them correctly. You can now close this. If you go down to your File Explorer, for those of you who don't know, your File Explorer is this yellow envelope that you see down here. It's called File Explorer. So you click it. You see now, these are the disks that you just labeled. Data, log, temp.db, you brought them online. If you didn't bring them online, you will not see them. So this is how to initialize your disk and bring them online. You are going to repeat the same process for SQL 02 and SQL 03. So I'm going to stop here. And when we come back after this short break, we're going to go ahead and install SQL Server on this VM. Welcome back. So far I have shown you how to, initialize our disk from our SQL 01. Your first assignment and your first project would be to go to SQL 02 and SQL 03 and do the same thing that you've seen me done, that I have done, all right, in SQL 01. So after now, the next thing would be to install SQL Server. Your assignment would be to configure your 02 and your 03. You add them to the domain controller, and then you install SQL Server. All right, so when I come back in the next video, I'm going to show you how to install SQL Server.